We're going to jump right into this with the college football preview for Week 5. First game is Saturday, noon kickoff on Fox. Number 14 Michigan at Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a 1-point favorite. Wisconsin is coming off of a 41-13 loss to number 9 Notre Dame. Michigan is coming off a very close win, 20-13 against Rutgers. You could probably say that Michigan was looking ahead to Wisconsin, but I highly doubt it, seeing how Rutgers is another conference opponent. But this should be the first time that Michigan gets truly tested, and we'll get to see if they're for real or not. So, I don't know who I would take in this one. I'm going to wait, and I'm sort of torn on this first game as far as who I pick. So we'll wait and see once the spreadsheet of all our picks comes out. But I would probably say right now Wisconsin to bounce back and beat Michigan. Mainly because I don't have much faith in Michigan. They've always started out hot and then they prove later on in the year that they're not for real. But we'll see. Second game, Saturday, 7 p.m. kickoff on ESPN2, number 21 Baylor at 19 Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is a 3.5-point favorite. Baylor's head coach is the former LSU defensive coordinator, Dave Aranda. They've been pretty good. Oklahoma State's always decent. This will be a pretty good conference game. And this week, conference schedules are really heating up, so you'll have these really good matchups that are hard to pick. You got any thoughts on that game?
Not really, honestly.
I'm going to try to watch it because I don't know much about either team.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to watch that one just so that I can have an opinion on those two as we go through the podcast more.
Mm-hmm.
Third game, Saturday, 2:30 p.m. kickoff on NBC. Number 7 Cincinnati at number 9 Notre Dame. Cincinnati is a road favorite, 2.5 points. Last week, I said Wisconsin will blow Notre Dame out. It was the other way around. I'm going to go with Notre Dame here because every time I've picked against them, they've proved me wrong. But this is Cincinnati's first test. And the committee seems pretty serious on them because they have them at 7. So we'll see what Cincinnati's made of.
I'm taking Notre Dame.
I'm not going to pick against Notre Dame anymore until they prove me wrong, I guess. Saturday, 9 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. Number 22 Auburn at LSU. I don't understand this spread. Basically, normally in gambling spreads, if you automatically get 3 points just for being the home team. So they're saying that right now LSU is a 3.5-point favorite. I don't understand that. Even though they are at home, LSU's not half a point better than Auburn. They're nowhere near Auburn. They are a SEC West school, and it's a big game. I mean, obviously, teams get up more for conference games, but Auburn should go in there and win that if they play to their ability.
Well, hopefully. I mean, it should go Auburn's way, but they played Penn State and didn't look like they looked the weeks before they played Penn State, whenever they played what you call cupcake teams. So, I don't know. Maybe it's another test, and maybe I don't know. It'll show who Auburn really is. Like, if they're here to compete, they'll blow LSU out, no problem. If they were overrated coming into the season, it'll be a fight. So we'll see.
I think they're just giving the LSU the 3 points. I mean, it's minus 3.5, but they're giving LSU 3 points because Baton Rouge is such a hard place to play.
Yeah.
All right, the rest of the games from here on out are all SEC games. The next game, Saturday, 7 p.m. on the SEC Network, Mississippi State at 15 Texas A&M. A&M is a 7-point favorite. I would expect A&M to take care of business and cover, but with SEC games, you never know.
I'm taking Texas A&M by 2 touchdowns at least.
All right. Saturday, 6 p.m. on ESPN, number 10 Florida at Kentucky. Florida is an 8.5-point favorite.
Well, hopefully Dan Mullen starts those defensive players he rested against Tennessee, and they'll handle them. They'll handle Kentucky pretty easily, I think.
For my sake and how much I don't like Kentucky, even though I don't like Florida either, I hope Florida blows them out. But Kentucky's played Florida pretty good the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I want Florida to go in and tell Kentucky fans that you're not what you think you are. You're still Kentucky. Florida needs to go in there and beat them by like they beat us.
Mm-hmm. And they will, I think.
The last two are the good games of the week. Saturday, noon kickoff on ESPN. Number 8, Arkansas at number 2, Georgia. I feel like they're not respecting Arkansas with this spread. It is Georgia, and they're coming off a 62-0 beat down of Vandy, but Arkansas is not Vandy.
Yeah, they're really disrespecting Arkansas.
Georgia, 18.5-point favorite against one, you could argue, one of the hottest teams in the country right now.
Mm-hmm. They did come off that 62-0 win, but that was against ETSU. Or that was against the team that lost to ETSU. So, I don't know.
It's Vandy.
18 points is a lot. I don't think it'll be that far of a difference.
Georgia wins, Arkansas covers.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't. It's a good story, and I've said it every time we've talked about it. I really like Arkansas this year. I love the story of seeing them compete every week, but they just don't have the players. And they may prove to me that they do. They may prove to me that playing with heart and wanting the game more than another team rises above stars and recruiting. They may do that, but Georgia's just on another level right now.
I think it really depends on how Georgia comes into this game. If Georgia comes into this game expecting what you're saying, I think Arkansas can have a pretty good chance. But
if they come in respecting Arkansas, I think it'll be Georgia by like 7-10.
yeah,
If they come in and say this team can beat us, we have to take them serious, it'll be Georgia by like 10. Mm-hmm. If they come in thinking this team is nothing, we're playing another Vandy, we're Georgia, we're superior, they can't beat us, Arkansas may smack them in the mouth.
Yeah, and if that happens, I like Georgia, or I like Arkansas by, more than 10.
And I don't think right now that if Arkansas comes out and smacks Georgia in the mouth like they did A&M, Georgia don't have the offensive firepower to come back. Same way A&M don't. Like, A&M was playing with fire, and Arkansas came out and smacked them in the face, and before they knew it, they couldn't come back. And I could see this happening in this game too, but I'm glad to see it to believe it. Like, Georgia's just on another level, and Arkansas may very well prove me wrong, but Georgia's going to go I think Georgia's going to go all the way to the playoff. I don't think they'll win, but I think they'll go all the way to the playoff unscathed.
Mm-hmm.
Last game for the college football preview, Saturday, 3:30 CBS game. 12 Ole Miss at 1 Alabama. Alabama is a 14.5 point favorite. I said last week, I predict that Ole Miss will go down to Tuscaloosa after a week off and knock down Alabama. I still stand by that. If they don't, they'll at least cover. 14.5 is way too high.
14.5 is very disrespectful, and Lane Kiffin should be using that as a motivation.
Arkansas will use 18.5 as motivation.
Yeah.
Sam Pittman will have the, even though college coaches say they don't look at the gambling spreads, Sam Pittman and Lane Kiffin will have the gambling spreads hung up all over the complex, all over the locker rooms. Look at how Vegas is disrespecting you.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe they go in, Arkansas and Ole Miss, they go and play 1 and 2. Maybe we see who they really are, and they can't hang with the big dogs. But that's the way they've been playing. I don't know why the spreads are so far one way.
We're going to get into playoff talk and Heisman talk next week. We're going to get into that in depth. But people have Ole Miss as dark horse playoff team. They have Matt Corral as a dark horse Heisman. Ole Miss is for real.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're just putting them at 12 and they're just waiting on them to get that big game like this and prove that they deserve to be there. That may be what Vegas is doing. But I think this is the game where Ole Miss shows we're not playing. You need to put us up there where Oregon is, Oklahoma. We're not playing. We just took down the number 1 team in the country. We're here. We're not leaving. Now you respect us like the rest of the country is. So that's our college football talk.